Hey guys, Gameboy3800 here once again for Legacy Tech Stories. This is going to be a simple video of how I got one of my most legendary computers, the mighty Voodoo Envy HW201. So, it begins like most stories about cool computers on the internet. We found it on eBay. Yep. Found it on eBay. It was mislabeled terribly. And I forget what category it was in. It was either in like auto parts or in some like beauty product thing, because for whatever reason Envy is like a beauty product name as well. So it was hard to find, and it had a pretty low starting bid, I think of like $40 or $41. And I saw it, and I had just gotten into collecting Voodoo stuff. Like I had the white Envy U709 before that I was fixing up at the time, and this popped up. I was blown away. Like, how does this just pop up? So I immediately asked the seller they would be willing to just sell it to me. I could pay immediately. I asked how much they were looking for, and they replied, auction only, sorry. So, not unexpected, but a bit of a disappointment. So I put some bids on it. I took a look at it over the week. There were some times where I was outbid, and sometimes where I was winning. I did eventually win it. At the end, I put in an insane bid of $2,100 just to make sure I would win. And that was actually quite the big undertaking, because I had listed off like my laptop I was using. I had listed my Threadripper setup for sale, just in preparation of this going for over like $1,700, $1,800, because that's how much I was prepared for it to go to. But then, it kept going. I asked, as I was winning bid, I asked to tell the history of the item, how it was stored, and any work that's been done to it. And here's the sad part. They say, this is how I received it. Some screws are missing. It looks like the hardware was removed, the hard drive was removed. And he purchased it off a friend who saved it from being recycled. This Voodoo Envy, this insane computer, was going to be thrown away. They say they were going to find a power cable and battery pack for it, but they lost interest. They did some research and found some Clevo parts that may fit it, but they never did take the jump. And they say they would have played Age of Empires 2 on it. That just would have been cool, though. And as for them storing it, they say it had been in their closet for a while, and that's all the info they know. They assume that the HDD failed, and that's why it was donated to the recycling center. I went on to give them some more info about Voodoo and these chassis computers in general. I think my information about Voodoo's being from Germany is a little bit sus, but then again, I was just getting into VoodooPC collecting at the time. I think they're more Canadian than German, but still more popular in Europe as far as I could tell. And in the end, they did appreciate my knowledge and did hope that I would win the auction. And one I did win, which, may I add, the winning bid, going for only $450 just about, is like insane. I thought it would go for at least $1,000 more than that. So I mentioned before, I had actually put up for auction my laptop and my internals for my desktop. I only had to sell the laptop to get this machine. And it was a pretty cool Origin laptop with a GTX 970 and 6700 i7 processor desktop chip. But, that pales in comparison to the coolness of the mighty Voodoo Envy. I then got it in the mail. I unboxed it, opened it up, cleaned it up, and found that it was probably more likely a RAM stick was going bad, because when I first got it, it wouldn't post, but just wiggling the RAM sticks a bit did let it post, and I was able to finally see its true specs for what it is. That it was the dual-core version of the M59K, the M59KE from Clevo. and that makes it exceptionally hard to get, hard to find, and extremely cool. But most importantly, it makes it actually usable, because if you are familiar with the Alienware MALX laptop, that used a AMD single-core CPU with DDR1 RAM. Well, this used a dual-core AMD CPU with DDR2 RAM, so it can actually go above 2 gigabytes of RAM. I have mine fitted with 8 gigabytes, and it's quite enjoyable to use. I've done various upgrades and fixes to it over the years since I've had it, and it's my crown jewel of my collection, you could say. One of them, anyways. I've had some insane offers for this machine, including vehicle trades, 5-figure offers. I've turned them all down under the principle of it's not a complete unit yet. What do I mean by that? Well, I just want to make sure I can properly max it out. It's got the best CPU, RAM, and video cards, but it can still have a TV tuner, a Blu-ray drive, and some other niche products that I could have come with that I just don't have yet. That should be a future video series, though. Eventually, I don't know when. But I hope you enjoyed this little tech story of how I managed to get one of the most legendary computers in my collection. Thanks, Game Boy out. I'll see you all in the future.